If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month from Munford High School.
Hey, we say good morning to Chance Gaither this morning, a senior at Munford. Chance, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Thanks for being with us. And Chance, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, like you said, I'm a senior at Munford High School, and I've been taking AP classes since I started my freshman year at Munford High School. And so I did those so that they'd be challenging, so I'd be prepared for college. And the plan is to go to UAB right now so I can be a pediatric dentist. And so that's why I've taken these classes, so I can get prepared for that. I was adopted by my grandmother when I was 6 months old, and she's a really big part of my life because without her, me and my twin brother, I really don't know where we'd be right now. And so I want to thank her for that. And I'd also like to say that church is also a really big part of my life. You know, I go to church every Sunday and Wednesday, but it's more than that to me. You know, it's a really big part of my life and my brother's life. And so we attend just about everything they have at the church, and just about everything that they plan, you know, we're there to help with, and we're there to, you know, provide assistance with. And so I'd say those are really big, you know, key factors in both of our lives, especially mine.
That's Munford Baptist Church, right?
Yes, sir, Munford Baptist.
Talk a little bit about your senior year at Munford High School. Obviously, you've got great plans for the future, but how did you get from point A to where you are now, a senior at Munford High School? And, you know, life is challenging, and but obviously you've accomplished a whole lot. How did you get there?
I'd say the biggest thing, you know, other than just, you know, having, you know, faith that you know, God would push me to those areas, is just, it's something that I've been told over and over by, you know, some of my closest friends and my grandmother, is just to believe in yourself, and just to, you know, if I go into a test or a big, you know, situation that I know I've got to succeed in this, you know, I've always learned that if I, you know, trust in myself, and I trust that, you know, I'm going to do well in this because I've prepared for this, and, you know, I've laid out a plan in order to succeed in these areas, and I know that, you know, that's what's going to push me through that, and that's what's going to get me through that. So I say the biggest thing is just trusting yourself, and, you know, understanding that if you think that you can do this, and there's a good chance that you'll do pretty well at it.
You and your twin brother adopted by your grandmother when you were 6 years old. Talk to me about your grandmother and the importance and the role she's played in your life to this point.
Yes, sir. My grandmother, she works at the Talladega County Jail, and so she's worked there for about 17 years now. And so me and my brother are 17, and so just about all we've known is her working there. And I'd say the biggest thing about her is not only that she, you know, chose at her age to adopt me and my brother and my sister as well, to take care of us and, you know, raise children for a second time, but, you know, she's a really hardworking woman, and she just, you know, she makes sure that everything's prepared for me and my brother, and she makes sure everything is just, you know, there for us, so that we have an opportunity just like all the other kids do that, you know, have their mom and dad, that we get those same opportunities and we're provided with the same thing. Fantastic.
Chance Gaither, a senior at Munford High School. You talked about some of the classes, and you've been taking these classes since you were a freshman. How do you balance, you know, your senior year with these classes that you've been taking since a freshman? Things are beginning to come together for you, aren't they?
Yes, sir. I can definitely say it's challenging, and there's a lot of times where you may ask why you'd even take some of these classes, but I'd say the biggest thing, you know, other than the fact that it prepares you for college, is that, you know, it pushes you out of your comfort zone, and it allows you to, you know, think in ways that you'd never think before, and you know, solve tasks and situations that you'd never be pushed into if you take some of those other classes. And so the biggest thing I feel like is it's preparing me for a future in college, and it's preparing me to just, you know, have to think in the real world and have to think in those situations.
What do you do in your free time?
Well, free time's not really a lot of stuff that I have.
It's not.
But, you know, I'm going to work right now. I actually work at my church right now. And so, you know, I help with them cleaning up and just assisting and cleaning up all the buildings. And so majority of the free time when I get out of school, you know, I go to work and I work in those areas, and then I get home, and from there it's preparing and studying and make sure I can succeed in these classes. But I'd say the other little free time I have to do other things, you know, I just hang out with a lot of friends from the youth group, and, you know, we go to a lot of different places just around Oxford, Anniston, you know, Munford areas, you know, just going to parks, going out to eat, and things like that, and especially going to movies. I'm a big movie guy.
Yeah. Your senior year, who are some people that are educators at Munford that have impacted your life?
Well, last year my AP language teacher was Miss Elder, and so I'd say, for sure she's one of the biggest ones right now, is just because, English is personally one of my favorite subjects because I feel like I succeed in it and do well in it, and she always had pushed me to, even though she felt like I was right here, she wanted to push me, up here, and I always felt like there was a bar that I could, go over, and so I'd really like to thank her. And Mr. Wright, he's one of our he's a chemistry teacher as well as my robotics teacher, and so robotics wasn't really one thing I thought I wanted to do, and so I tried it, and I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoy the effort that he puts in and how he allows us to just take it over ourselves and him not control everything. And so I'd say every educator we have, I think, helps me personally, but those two are some really big ones.
Now, you were involved in athletics at Munford until this year?
Yes, sir, until this year. I've always been a big football guy. I played football and I ran track, and I loved doing both of those. They were really fun, and I was doing really well at track as well, and I was going to sectionals and everything. But then when I got to my senior year, I got so busy with classes and so busy with work that I felt like there really wasn't enough time for me to do athletics. And so I still do some of it outside of my free time, with some other guys that like to do it. But just because of time management and the way that everything was working out, I wanted to ensure that Plan A and Plan B were done before I could focus on football. When
did you begin to look at your career in pediatric dentistry? When did you begin to look at that?
I'd say it was up until the end of last year when I started looking, because, all throughout high school I knew that there was a plan that I needed to come up with, but I really couldn't pick out where I needed to go or what I needed to do. And, just talking to some of our educators, a lot of them thought they knew what they wanted to do all along, and then it just switches from there. And so as I looked at all the career choices and I just thought about what I'd enjoy most, I just thought that pediatric dentistry is a way for me to, help kids with, something that matters a lot to them is their teeth and their mouth and things like that, because a lot of kids don't see as important as it really is. And so I feel like if I'm someone that can help them achieve that and help them that can, succeed in that and obviously make their parents happy doing that, I'd enjoy it.
What is the organization first priority? What is that?
It's a really big thing to me. And it's, like I said, our youth group is, when I first started this church, our youth pastor, he had started doing it at the school. It's a group of Christians that meet, and we invite everybody. We don't want to make it just a clique or whatever. We invite everyone there, and we just come in there, and normally we'll have, one student who's prepared a lesson that week, and he'll teach all the other students what he has on his heart, and, all the other students will talk, and we'll bring donuts and coffee and biscuits, and, we'll do it right early in the morning before school starts. And I'd say it's a really good way for us just to reach some of those other students you may never talk to throughout the rest of the day.
Finally, this morning, Chance Gaither is a senior at Munford High School, and his grandmother Shirley Bowman adopted him and his brother, twin brother, when he was 6 months old. And how old is your sister, by the way?
She's 19.
Okay.
Right now.
All right. How would you like to be thought of as you leave your senior year at Munford High School?
The biggest thing I'd say is just someone that, worked hard at everything you did. There was never, one thing I did that, I didn't put a lot of effort to. And, most of all, just, had faith that God gave me every success that I've succeeded, or everything that I've ever, achieved or succeeded at, that, it was a God-given thing that I just trusted, in His will and my ability to do so.
I appreciate you being here this morning.
No problem, man.
And continued success in your senior year. And you, I guess, plan on attending UAB, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, good luck with that and continued success. Chance Gaither, senior at Munford High School, our Star Student of the Month. You are watching Daybreak Live.
This Star Student of the Month was brought to you by TV 47. Tune in to Daybreak weekdays at 6:30 a.m. for your Star Student of the Month.